Hey there, Frankie Nicole, back again, by popular or unpopular demand, however you want to perceive it. So, I think the calling, the lesson that has been pulling me back to doing my podcast, besides dancing and singing, which I've been having so much fun doing, and pursuing that part of myself, because if I don't do it, if you don't do something that you are just so passionate about, then what are you doing in life? What are you trying to go for? Are you just waiting for the next pay period? Are you waiting for the next paycheck? That's the same thing. Oh boy. Are you waiting for the next vacation? Are you waiting for someone to come out with something new that you can explore and understand? I mean, it's all great, to have them passionate things in your life, but there's a greater purpose involved. And we weren't just put here on this earth to just work and die. And in some cases, it could be, depending on what position of work you are in. If you were, in Bangladesh or China and you're working in some sweatshop, so, all the people in America can have the latest, Xbox or cell phone or whatever in their hands the moment it comes out. It's funny because we used to joke, and then it turned really sad because it was not really a joke. It was more just like really sad truth about people getting way more excited about releases of video games and consoles and cell phones and electronic devices than actually going out and voting. But this last caucus in the West Coast has proven that we are committed. We are heading for a revolution. We are trying to change the atmosphere of political discourse in our current existence, which is fantastic because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but it's not great. It's really not great. But that doesn't mean it can't change. That's the optimistic part. I was speaking with this person who was just like, oh, I'm just so worried about, that really outspoken, awful person that I will not mention their name because that gives them power. But that all comes back to fear. That all comes back to the idea or belief that we have no power or control over our voice, and that we are going to let other people speak for us. And I think that's really part of a big theme that's been rising. There's a couple big themes that I have been noticing that I haven't, because I haven't been doing this, and it's just been kind of like sitting there on top of me, and I'm like, I gotta do this. So I'm back, because you can't shut me up. And I don't want to shut up, It's just not in my nature. Another thing is like perceptions and choices as well. Like we all make choices in life, and it's, it's there's no good or bad. I was speaking with this spiritual counselor today, and it was reiterating my understanding of it all, and it's like, yes, there are no good and bad. It's just depending on how you want to experience this lesson, this understanding in life, because we're all supreme beings, and we all come here in different forms to learn and be different entities of the existence that we are living in. In this existence, I am I am loudmouth, which, there's worse things. I am bold. I am strong and sometimes confident, but kind. I'm idealistic. I have a penchants for danger and oddities and new and strange things. I don't like to play by the rules. I believe that everybody has the freedom and power to do what they want to do, but some people, they just don't choose to do that because they are more comfortable following the status quo. And that is their choice and their comfort and their life path, and they make the choice to do so. I mean, we all make choices in our lives that lead us somewhere, whether it leads us to a bottom of the well or whether it leads us to, I don't know, some kind of cushy, paradise. That's our choice. Whether we want to learn these lessons in one way or another, that's how we are going to learn them. But we go through a process of elimination, basically, of what we do and we do not want in our lives. And a lot of times we get caught in the human narrative. I get caught in the human narrative all the time. I'm not immune. I am a reader, but I am human, and I live in this human form, and I make choices that are good and sometimes really fucking terrible. And you have to understand that at the end of the day, you learned something from that choice that you made. And some people do, and some people just continue the cycle. We are at the end of a gigantic cycle that is going on, and how that is affecting you is different for everybody, because everybody has a different chart placement, and everybody has a different understanding and a different passion and pursuit of their existence. But it's really important to remember that even though we are all pursuing different things, the most important thing is that we are all the same. Whether or not we're going to be next to each other or across the room being like, hey, how's it going? It's just the flow, and being accepting of the flow and not trying to control it, I've found is the scariest and most intense thing you could possibly do. To just be like, all right, hands off. It's up to whatever happens. And, a lot of people who are very successful say, no, you have to, be on it and do and go and pursue. But you can come up to a dead end after a while, and you just can't do anything. There's just no headway. You just have to allow. And I find that a lot of people, when they get to that and they just keep getting up on that wall, that's when everything falls apart for them. That's when a lot of things just really get to a person who is used to getting everything that they want, because they are actively being the power source, the magician, the person pursuing things in their own life. But sometimes we cannot do anything. There's just an ebb and flow of the universe, and we are being bombarded with all these brand new energies that are coming, that are basically leveling us up into a higher evolution of being. Now, I've talked about it before, of switching from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, but it comes in waves, and because it's not going to just hit us all at once, because it would just make everyone freak the fuck out. But it's important to remember that what you perceive and what you project are very similar in the fact that you could be, seeing something in someone else that you don't like. And it could be also part of yourself that you don't like, because people come into our lives to show us things about ourselves that we need to understand, that we that do not resonate with us or continue to resonate with us, because then we know who continues on our path and who can go by the wayside. And everything that happens in life is, just a plot point in this grand story that's being woven as we go day to day. Sometimes I wonder, like, am I wasting my time if I'm just, laying there and, relaxing? But then I think this is the time for me to relax. This is time for me to take a moment to refresh, to take some downtime, and to really take care of my being, because our bodies are, degrading as we get older. We're not getting, we can't regenerate a lot of parts of us. I mean, we can definitely, work out, we can be healthy, but everything is slowly decomposing. We are a zombie, basically, a very slowly decomposing zombie. So, we have our primes, we have our peaks, but we all together are, becoming dust again. And then we will recycle and learn again. So whatever we're going through and we experience in this lifetime, if things don't become completed, if someone takes a choice or makes a choice that they don't want to be in your existence anymore, and it was a very important, relationship for you because you connected on certain levels, they will come back in another lifetime. You will be experiencing them in a different way in another lifetime, because we do make pacts with people to come back and to meet and to get to, advice or understandings from them in any form, and they come into our existence in the form that we've agreed upon in that lifetime. We make it before we go into the lifetime, and then that's why it resonates so deeply with us, because we've known this all along and it's been forgotten and repressed. So after that, I'm gonna get to the cards, because I feel like I've already gone on for 12 whole minutes, and I'm back. Okay. For the beginning of the week, we have the Page of Swords, which is all about, the pages are about messages. They're younger people, more, immature, sharper words, thoughts. Swords are words and thoughts. We have the King of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Nine of Swords. So it's possible that you're dealing with maybe a superficial or maybe a less traditional type business, some business that is kind of, it could be somebody taking advantage in business. It could be an earth sign that is more established but more superficial and focused on wealth and gain. It seems like there is quite a bit of anxiety, and maybe you are dealing with trying to, maybe there's some kind of I don't want to say fight, but it seems like there's a discourse happening between somebody who's younger and someone who's older, and they're both, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean masculine, a man, but it's masculine energies, and so there's like definitely some like apprehension or fear or thoughts. There's a lot of swords energy going on here. We have this, it's just like you feel like you're just trapped in all these swords energies. And we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. I really like this representation. He's got his like crown, and he's just like this like mustached man. And we have the Princess of Swords upright. no less. So the King of Pentacles reversed can, there can be some deception. There can be just somebody who's a little bit greedy. And so maybe there's a young energy coming upon a business that, or a person that is a little bit taking advantage of them, and they're worried about being taken advantage of. So I would just watch out for people who tell you things that are too good to be true, or they just really are, very succinct in their business matters, and they're not trying to be caring or comforting, if that's what you're looking for, because they are out for just money, and they are out for just profit. And so be wise, be wiser with your questions and your words. Although we do have Justice and Upright in the middle of the week, which is great. We have the Devil reversed, which is all about letting go of things that are fearful, things that are restricting us, things that keep us enchained, that we don't feel like we can move forward. So maybe something has chained you, or has kept you in bonds that you felt like you couldn't progress, or maybe somebody has taken advantage of you, and now you're able to make sure that they get what's coming to them, or you get what you deserve back. And we have the Two of Swords, so there's a choice that needs to be made. So maybe it's about making a choice to pursue this justice. Maybe it's about making a choice to leave. Maybe it's making a choice to let go of these bonds, because, what we don't realize is most of this is in our heads. Most of this is something that we have to learn, that we're not aware of. A lot of times at full moons, we are made aware of things that we have repressed, or we just ignore, and we let just go on for way too long. And so it's all about making it a choice in, do we want to pursue something different? Do we want to pursue something that is going to give us an equal feedback? Is it going to give us what we feel like we deserve? Because if you're constantly giving out, and you're constantly feeding energy into other things and other people, and you're not getting anything back, it is definitely time to reevaluate that situation and figure out if that is what you need in your life. If it's time to let that go because there's no possible resurrection of that project, it is time to let it go. Now, at the end of the week and the weekend, we have the Seven of Swords upright, we have the Three of Wands upright, and we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So it looks like something that we have seen in our past. It's not necessarily, the Seven of Swords can be cheating or somebody being dishonest, but it also can be just thoughts falling back. You're trying to progress forward, and things are, pulling your mental capabilities back towards things that you have experienced, whether it's in the last week, month, year, or lifetime. So we could be getting messages about past lives, past experiences, things that cycles or patterns that we have been in that we no longer wish to be in. And it seems as if with the Three of Wands upright, that things are starting to progress forward. You're starting to see things culminate from perhaps this decision that you made in the middle of the week. And it's kind of like this progression of something that has been gestating or culminating, or just is revisited. And perhaps it has to do with someone who, or something of a emotional or romantic nature. It's something, somebody who wishes to continue a emotional bond, but in reverse, it always tends to be kind of this dire understanding. It's this like now or never, or very just pessimistic view. It's not really that. It's not very like clean or genuine. It can be, overly dramatic. It can even mean a stalker, or somebody who is just very, overwhelming to emotionally. So that could also be somebody's like trying to take advantage of you with their emotional state. So the overall theme of the week is the Five of Wands reversed, the Six of Cups upright, and the Hermit reversed. So it is something or some past understanding or experience that we've had. This is all about reminiscing or things from the past, or like feeling comfortable because you have this like even understanding of your emotions. And the Hermit reversed can be somebody coming out of a period of solitude, somebody who has been away for a while. Maybe you have been pulled back from existence and now you are trying to deal with certain issues from the past. And the Five of Wands here also can talk about actions, taking actions. It can be people who are you're dealing with a lot of people and they could be unfairly acting, or you don't feel like nothing's moving forward. It could also be somebody laying down their wand and not pursuing forward and kind of making amends, or bowing out. So we have a couple love cards here. I am forever grateful for your loving kindness and for the joy you bring in my life. You are a gift from the eternal heart of love, a blessing from the most benevolent universe. Dwelling on the past and future keeps me from experiencing the power of now. I make a conscious choice to be present. I accept love now. I am grateful for your love. I feel you forever in my heart. You are in my thoughts and in the air I breathe. You are a jewel, a sparkling diamond. Your heart is like the great ocean of love. Thank you. You, my beloved, are like a ray of golden sunshine. I breathe in your love, and all my concerns melt away, and all that is left is pure joy. Thank you, my beloved soulmate. You are loved more than you consciously know. Share your insecurities with the one that you love. You will be surprised and reassured by their reaction. Love is all around you. Well, that's reassuring, because there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of love going around. A lot of fighting. Alright, interesting. So this goes along with our theme for the week, remembrance, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. So let's check that one out. It is said that we all have a present. All we have is the present. While that is true, it is also true that in essence, past, present, and future are all one. We are connected energetically to both past and future. Life is an evolving story. Where we are now is a result of where we have been. This card signifies that past feelings and emotions are resurfacing from deep within you, and you may find yourself on an emotional roller coaster over the coming days. Do not fight it. This is all fine. It is important to occasionally remember and honor your past, for it is part of you and part of your soul's journey. Yet remember to honor every part of it, regardless of whether you perceive some parts to be good or bad, for in some way every experience has helped to expand your understanding and appreciation of life. Occasionally reflecting on the past is healthy, just as giving some thought to your future is wise. However, excessive preoccupation with either only serves to rob you of the present moment that serves no real purpose. I bless my past, and I am grateful for every experience, experience has helped me to expand my understanding of love. My life is forever unfolding as it should. The past, the present, and the future are one. I honor and respect my feelings and emotions, for they are part of my story. And for the love, oh my goodness. Okay, well, we have 2 repeat cards. The overall, understanding of the love cards is that we have the 7 of Swords reversed, or the 7 of Arrows, and that is all about being stuck in the past, or being caught up in something that isn't real, that isn't, that is not feeding us, that's not returning anything. We are, somebody has stolen our thoughts, stolen our understandings of certain beliefs and things, and it, can no longer, continue. Or it's just something from the past that is ruminating, dwelling, continuing on. I think that the remembrance card was definitely, you have to remember that, and you have to look at that, but you have to remember that now is all we have. So we have the King of Coins making a reappearance, but this time he is in the upright position. So we have a masculine, traditional earth energy in our presence that is maybe from our past, maybe not there reciprocating, or maybe stealing our energy or our thoughts. We have the Star in reverse, and we have this is the Star in reverse, and we have the Hangman in reverse. So it seems like there is a release, something that is a traditional understanding, or we are moving past the point of holding on, or being in a suspended state, or turning ourselves and looking in a different viewpoint perspective, and we are not quite seeing that there are wonderful things to come, because our thoughts are being invaded or taken by this, traditional energy. So maybe it's just trying to understand that there are different ways of having relationships, or different ways of how people can relate to one another. I think we have all been victim to the grand understanding that how a relationship is supposed to go is just the traditional way, and there cannot be any variance, otherwise it is not love. When I think that more people who find somebody that is non-traditional, but they connect on that level of heart, mind, and spirit, to where unmistakably that this is somebody who is supposed to be in your life, that you get distracted by the way that it always was, the way that it was supposed to be, that you've projected in your mind, the plan. Because there really are no solid plans in life. There's only, a guideline, and then we have to adjust. We have to figure out how to navigate everything that comes at us. I think the most important thing to remember is that when somebody loves you, they want the best for you, regardless of how that has to happen. I think that a lot of people get caught up in the thought of having to be with somebody all the time, having to, have this witty repartee and this, connection of, romantic flirtiness all the time, because that fades after a while, and what's left is the real stuff. So when you can find somebody who you can have real stuff with, somebody who helps you grow, somebody who is cognizant of their own growth, somebody who wants to pursue a greater being together with you, then you can find something that is real, that is lasting, instead of going off this paradigm understanding of what we are supposed to have in romantic love. I believe that is all I have for you tonight, and I really wish you the best week. I know that a lot of people have had a lot of major shifts and changes that have ripped parts of them clean off and clear out of their essence and their body, and it has been tough, but I want you to know that I don't think anybody's alone in this, and that we're all together dealing with these energies. So with that, I leave you, and love and light.